How you doing? I'm Sparky Fifer from 105.7 FM The Fan and AM 1250.
Drug test will be administered after this show.
Oh, there are no drug tests. He is Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times.
What prompted that, by the way?
I don't know, something different. Time to preview the small forward position for the NBA draft coming up on Thursday night. Don't forget, we'll have our draft show Thursday night starting at 6 o'clock. On 105.7 FM and AM 1250. Gery Woelfel will be reporting live from draft headquarters with goal pick-by-pick coverage throughout the night. All right, small forward position. First off, Justice Winslow, who Badger fans are well aware of from the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that are sky high on Winslow, and I can understand it. You know, he's athletic, he's bright, he's got a good basketball IQ, blah, blah, blah. But he's short, and came up...
What is he? He's 6'7".
Well, that's not what they had the pre-draft camp.
That's what my sheet says.
I was talking to an NBA executive the other day, and he said that's the concern with some people. They said he came in at 6'5". And if you're a small forward today, that's not very tall.
No, it's not going to work.
So having said that, he'll still probably be a top 8, top 9 guy. Everybody's had him in the top 8. I mean, there's some ludicrous talk going on, about a month ago, how he could be in the mix for a top 3, 4 pick, That's not going to happen. But, very good player, obviously.
All right, now number 2 on the list, Stanley Johnson, who, if you watched him at Arizona, you get excited watching him because the kid is just oozing with talent.
Yeah, I mean, if you went based strictly on talent, he's the best small forward in the draft, bar none. But the problem is he's had some off-the-court issues, and they're concerned about his character a little bit. And, the Detroit Pistons, again, at number 8, are giving him a serious look. If he keeps his head on together, he's going to be very good. That's the $64,000 question. Now, if he doesn't, he just wasted a pick.
Now, there's another guy that's next on the board at small forwards that I know there is a group of Bucks Nation that hope slides to the Bucks because they like him. Kelly Oubre, the kid from Kansas.
You know what we just said about Stanley Johnson?
Yeah.
You can kind of say about Oubre. I mean, there's a lot of guys that really like him. The consensus is he's a top 15 guy. But in this draft, anybody's capable of sliding.
Yes.
There's a consensus that there's like 8 guys, maybe 9 guys, and then after that, there's another 10 guys that you can just throw into a bag and say, okay, I like him, and that's it. There's not much difference. So could Oubre get to the Bucks at 17? Absolutely. Now, the only problem there is he refused to work out for the Bucks. So do you want to take a guy that you did not see up close and personal and really get to know? My gut feeling is no, they won't do it. But again,
Jason Kidd's mentality to me seems to be either you want to be here or you don't. And if you don't want to be here, I don't want you.
Exactly.
That tends to me to be how he comes across.
And that's the game you play, deciding where you want to go. I mean, it might look good now saying, hey, I don't want to go to the Bucks because I'm going to get picked. But what if he does slide and then all of a sudden this team goes, no.
You refuse to work out for us, we're not taking you.
Exactly.
Right.
So, who knows? You lose a lot of money by doing that.
No question. Number 4 on this draft board that I'm looking at, Sam Decker from Wisconsin.
Sam I am.
And I have no idea where he's going. I don't. I mean, he's up and down the draft board depending on who you look at.
Well, I talked to a friend of his the other day, and he said Sam's trying to be a top 5 pick.
No, it's not happening.
It's not going to happen. I mean, you never ever say never, but not.
No, that's never going to happen.
But this is a classic example. What I was saying about the 8 guys, he's in that group. Some people like him. I've been told that the Miami Heat is really, really infatuated. But the Heat are infatuated like 4 or 5 other guys too. But they did bring him in for an individual workout, which often indicates that they are very serious about someone. So he could be there, but he could also fall to the Bucks. There's people that think he could go past
the Bucks. I've seen that too.
Exactly. So I think based on what I've heard, the feeling is kind of mixed in the Bucks organization. Some like him, some don't. But, if he's on the board at 17, I just don't see how they can pass on him.
Makes sense to me for the Heat. Makes all the sense in the world. Number 5, Rondé Hollis Jefferson. And J.P. Cadore of Time Warner 32 wrote a story the other day for the Time Warner 32 website, and I couldn't agree more with him. JP said, coming into this thing, I was kind of really excited about Rondé Hollis Jefferson, whatever. I'm really excited about him. And then as you read the quotes from Jefferson, how people describe Jefferson, he said, then I determined it sounds a lot like Luke Richard Bahamute to me a little bit. And do you want to make that pick in the middle of the first round if that's what he is? And The answer to that question for me is no. I don't want a defensive-minded player in the middle of the first round.
You can get a defensive stopper in the second round.
Yes.
It's been shown time and time again. Some people compare him to Bruce Bowen, Luke Mamute. Often, as good as he is defensively, he's bad offensively.
Right.
Now, the one thing I like about him is, you know where he's from?
Where's he from?
Chester, Pennsylvania. There you go.
Bo Ryan?
Bo Ryan territory. And, they have become pretty good friends. And, if you're looking for a defensive-type player, he's your guy. But, again, if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I can find a guy who can play defense in the second round.
We've gone 5 on every position, but we're going to go 6 here because I really like this kid. Justin Anderson from Virginia. He hurts I think it was his knee, right? ACL or whatever.
Right.
So now he's trying to get himself going. He's going to be a first-round pick, it looks like. And he showed at Virginia he can score even in that offense that Tony Bennett runs.
Yeah. Have you been hanging out with the Bucks brass?
No. I like him too.
A lot of guys like him. He's a safe pick. He's a real bright kid. He's very focused. One of the few players in the NBA draft that doesn't have a tattoo.
No.
which is amazing. But he said he wants to be himself. He's not caught up in the culture and what everybody else is doing. But very, very bright kid. And, of course, he played for Tony Bennett. And if you play for Tony Bennett, it means you're a pretty darn good defensive player.
Is he a shooting guard or a small forward? He's listed as a small forward, but he's 6'6".
Yeah, he's a combo. You can, the way the NBA is structured today, it doesn't matter. You're a wing guy, so.
I'll give you something.
Yeah.
They take Vaughn or Hunter, and then they take their second and something to move up and take Anderson. And they take 2 guys that can shoot the basketball, 2 guys that can score off the bench, because that's where they died last year. When Mayo and Dudley couldn't play, they had nobody that could score off the bench. Nobody.
I agree.
They need scoring in this draft.
That would be a great scenario. I mean, if they could pull something
great
out.
draft.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm on board with that all the way.
Boss, just pay attention. I'll help you along. He is Gery Woelfel. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer. Thanks for tuning in another edition of Sports Junkies as we previewed the small forward position. Don't forget, draft show coming up Thursday night. Check us out starting at 6 o'clock on AM 1250 and 105.7 FM. The Fan. We'll see you then. Check us out here next time at RacineSportsZone.com.